last video, I outlined a list of factors or rules that I apply when trying to decide whether I'm going to paint or refinish a piece of furniture. And in this video, I'm pretty sure I broke all of those rules. So let's see how that turned out.
I'm Amy. I build and revive furniture, often adding something new to something old. I'm sharing tips, tricks, and methods on how to give old pieces a new lease on life. Welcome to my shop. This dresser and pair of nightstands is made by Ethan Allen. I don't know about your area, but where I am, I can find this style and dark wood color furniture in almost any thrift store on any given day. However, it's rare to find this style of matching nightstands. So when I came across this set, and although it was pretty beat up, I scooped it up right away. So what am I going to do with it? Well, in a previous video, I went into a lot of detail about how I decide whether to paint or refinish vintage furniture. I have 4 factors or rules: the condition of the furniture, my capabilities to make repairs, how much time and money to invest in order to still make a profit, and finally, what styles sell best in my local market, which is coastal Florida. This set is really banged up, so regardless, the old finish has to come off. And let me be clear, I love cherry when it's refinished. It's such a beautiful, rich color wood. But I don't know that in my market, a dark cherry, traditional looking furniture set is gonna fetch a sale price that'll turn me a profit. Do you know how easy and quick it would be to sand these pieces smooth and paint them a light neutral color? I'd be able to complete the work in about 10 to 15 hours, and I probably wouldn't even have a hard time selling it. But why take the easy route when I can do something that's harder, more time consuming, uses a lot more of my shop supplies and materials, and is kind of risky? Because I'm using a chemical stripper to remove the old finish, I don't bother cleaning or even wiping down the surfaces. Believe me, this stripper is going to take everything off. I use a cheap paintbrush to apply the stripper, then I let it sit and start working. Depending on the type of finish, it can take a few minutes or up to a half an hour for it to start working. Then I take a plastic or metal scraper, scrape off the loosened finish, and dump it into a waste bucket. For the rounded edges and the curvy legs of the nightstands, I apply the stripper, then I use a stiff bristle brush to scrub off the old finish. Hard bristles is okay for a hardwood like cherry, but if you're working on a softwood like pine, I would use softer bristles because it can leave scratches on a softer wood. After wiping all the stripping residue off with a rag and warm water, I started sanding. You can see the old batwing shaped hardware is leaving a shadow on the wood surface. This is very common. The hardware has protected that wood from exposure to light and other elements that cause the wood to discolor or even darken over time. And quite often, just sanding won't take care of it. But I'm not reusing this hardware, so this is going to have to be addressed.
And speaking of replacing the hardware, since I'm not painting, it would be extremely difficult to plug the old holes and hide the evidence. So I'm gonna have to find new hardware that fits these old holes. Also, this color is beautiful, but as soon as I apply a clear coat, it's gonna darken a lot. And I really want a light wood tone. I've tried stains that are supposed to lighten wood color, but I haven't had much luck with them. But what I have had success with is a 2-part wood bleach. Don't ask me how it works. I've never been good at science, and this is not that video, but I do know it works. So I did a test on one drawer first, and here's the comparison. Also, notice the batwing shadows are almost gone. It's pretty simple to use. You basically apply part A and you let it sit for about 5 or 10 minutes, then you apply part B. But what I've learned is that it's easy to lose track of what step you're on when you have a lot of pieces, so I write everything down. It's really important to apply it evenly, and don't be stingy. You don't want it to dry out before applying part B. If it starts to dry out before the 5 or 10 minutes, reapply more solution. I apply part B the same way, evenly and with a brush. From what I understand, part B neutralizes part A. In other words, it stops the bleaching process from continuing. So it's important to get really good coverage. Now, I don't know what you were expecting, but this looked pretty streaky and splotchy to me. And here's why. When I applied part A, some of it dried out before I applied part B, so I had to go over all those parts again. Now it's time to get rid of this old base. I wanted to use something different that would match better with the nightstands. The new front legs I picked out are really pretty, but they'd look weird if I used them as back legs too. So I'm just making basic 6-inch tapered legs out of some scrap maple. Now it's time to even out this color a bit with a very simple paint wash. I've used this method and this color so many times, and it almost never fails to give me the result I want. It really surprised me how long it took to paint wash the nightstands. It was probably 3 hours. Anyway, after the paint wash was dry, I applied several coats of satin polyurethane using my HVLP sprayer. I'm sorry, I don't have footage of it. It's just really hard to not get overspray on my camera. So, here's some footage of me applying clear coat to a different set of furniture, and let's all pretend it's the same. And since I already had too much time in this set, I pulled some pretty botanical peel and stick paper from my stash and lined all the drawers too. So, let's take a minute to remember where we started. And here's how it looks now. What do you think? Does the lighter wood color give this set an update? Let me know in the comments. I'm already working on something new. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can see upcoming projects. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.